Okay, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It has been a very long time since I filmed a drive with me. It was pre-exams. Since then I've been daily vlogging, so if you're a lover of the drive with me, then it's back for a little bit. It's still swinging. Every time we go around a corner the camera moves. That's annoying. But today I'm joined with my dad, as you can see, and I asked you guys over on my Twitter to ask me any questions that you might want us to answer, and I tried to get you to ask ones that I hadn't been asked before, because often I get those same ones, but I think I still got a lot of the same ones. So we're just gonna have a little chat, a little Q&A. We're going for a little drive. It is very warm. My car has no aircon, so give it a thumbs up for the dedication, because I am sweaty and I'm going to be very hot by the end of this.
There'll be lots of water appearing on our foreheads.
Lovely, what a nice mental image.
Yeah. By the way, it's nearly exactly a year since you passed your test.
I know it is, I know.
This is like a year anniversary drive with me. Am I still frightened of you driving?
Are you still
I
frightened?
expected somebody to ask that question and nobody has, so I'm going to start with that one.
The one you just made up?
That one I just made up on the fly, so sorry everybody, but I'll get to your questions in a minute. So, am I still frightened? I think you're a lot better now. I still don't think you're fully confident driving.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Your navigation skills are still a lot to be desired, but that, I don't think that'll ever come. I think you'll always be one of those people that just doesn't know the way to anywhere.
Thanks. It's not that I don't know the way, I do know the way, I just always forget like which turn off the roundabout it is. Like, it's not that I don't know where I am, I just always forget like which roundabout exit it is.
Yeah, right. First question then. Do I read the names out or just read the question out? I guess you'll know if you've asked this question. What would you think if Molly told you she was pregnant?
Oh, I saw that one.
Yeah, that was the top one. You'd starred that one as well.
I didn't star any of them. And it's not a star, it hasn't been a star for about 3 years.
Well, I was on Twitter in 2009. That's probably before most of these viewers were even alive.
Oh yes, Dad, because everybody's... Oh my god, that was 9 years ago.
What would I think? I'd think, well, how did that happen? I would be very surprised. I don't think I'd be one of those parents that would be like really, really cross and angry.
Would you kick me out the house?
No. What's the point of that? That's even more, that's going to make it even harder for you.
I get a bit confused here. Do you have to go round the island?
Yes, you do. Seriously?
So, but sorry, but...
Don't cut that out.
Right, okay. Just shut up. Okay, carry on.
Who was talking about being pregnant?
Being pregnant,
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be happy about it. I don't think you'd be happy about it either, given, you know, obviously you've got ambitions and everything. And but
to be fair, you can't say that, like you could have a child and still have ambitions. Obviously not as much as 18.
Look at J.K. Rowling.
Rolling, whatever.
Look at her, Harry Potter author. She did well for herself, and she had a child young, didn't she?
It wasn't so much that she had it young, she was just a single mum.
Would Tom stick around? That's the other question. Nobody asked that one. So if you got pregnant, do you think Tom would?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I'm happy with it. Not happy with it. No,
okay.
Maybe not happy with it, but
okay. What about at what age would you like to be a granddad?
Being a granddad's just another level, isn't it? I mean, being a dad, yeah, people become dads in the 20s and 30s, and so did I. But being a granddad, you think 60 something, don't you? Not for another 10 years, please. Late 50s, I would be okay with that. Next question. Is there a reason your parents sent you to an all-girls school?
I saw that.
And are they glad you did? Well, I don't think at the time Molly was, but I think in hindsight, you probably did go to the better of the schools.
Well, I didn't really have an option. It wasn't as if you sent me there because you wanted me to have a better education.
No, because where we live, there's like 2 schools for high school choices.
Where are they pulling into? There is nowhere to pull in.
Parking space. Yeah, there was 2 schools, and it was one or the other, and one was actually technically a little bit nearer, and so out of the 2, it was where all her friends were going because they lived nearer to it, and she didn't want to get broke up from her friends, so it was an easy choice.
It was like nothing to do with the education really, because it was mildly a better school at the time, but I really don't think it is now. I think if I was to look at all 3 schools in my area again, there's a girls' school, a boys' school, and a mixed school, and I think now they're probably all on par, but when I started, the girls' school had a better reputation. Not that that's why I went there, because I didn't really have a clue. I was like 11. I don't know, I've never known any different. I get asked that a lot, like, oh my god, how could you deal with going to an all-girls school? But like, I never knew anything else. And it was only in sixth form when I realised that actually boys are easier to get on with, that I thought, god, maybe I've missed out on the last 5 years because I haven't had this.
I mean, some years were harder than others for you. Year 7 was hard, I think, because it's such a culture shock going up to year 7.
It took me about 4 years to start liking them.
Yeah. Are you excited or nervous for uni, and how does your family feel about you moving out to uni?
I'm excited and nervous. I think I'll be nervous when I actually do it, but right now I'm excited about it. But I'm also just not really thinking about it. It feels like ages away, even though it's really not anymore.
She's been been on too many holidays to be thinking about anything other than holidays and the next holiday, what she's booking next. So I'm pleased she's doing it. I think it's a good experience. It's the best opportunity to get the experience without jumping into a 3-year degree and taking on loads of debts, because if she doesn't like it, she can just bail out without any real consequences and just do something else and look at other options. So I think it's the best of both worlds. If she does like it, she can stay on.
Yeah.
And
would you be annoyed at me if I did stay on and do a full
Not at all,
degree?
no, because you'd get a student loan then, wouldn't you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well,
basically, if you guys don't know, I'm doing an art foundation course at Leeds, so it's a 1-year course and it's government funded, but the accommodation isn't, so just to catch you up, like that's what we're talking about.
Moving on, do we like living in Beverley, and where's the best place to eat / visit in Beverley?
Okay, I like living in Beverley. Compared to the other places in our area, I would rather live in Beverley than Hull. I know that's awful, but I also think there are definitely cons. It's very like out on its own, and I think if you were going to visit it, you'd have to be coming here to visit it. You wouldn't be passing through Beverley. It's not somewhere you'd be like going en route to somewhere else.
Yeah, it depends what you like as well, and how old you are. I think if you like sort of the oldie culture, there's lots of old stuff in Beverley, like the Minster that you can go and visit, but there's also
lots of old stuff.
There's old people in Beverley as well.
It's
an
very
awful lot of. It's a retirement town.
The young people in Beverley are massively outnumbered by the old people that come here to retire, which is sort of nice. But then also, like, up until probably about 3 or 4 years ago, there was nothing to do. Like recently, they've put in a cinema, a shopping centre, like things that are a little bit more fun. Horse. That's a cow. That's a cow. No, there was a horse.
I taught you well, didn't I, when you were 4 with those books?
I thought it was a horse.
What?
It had a tail. I didn't know cows had tails.
What?
Do you know I've never driven here before, so if we get lost, this is now your fault.
Just follow that car. Right, next question. I can't remember what the last one was. We did. What was the best places to eat? Personally, there's loads of places to eat in Beverley. You always got to ask.
Ask Italian if you want a chain. If you want somewhere that's not a chain, I'd say go to Lucia's.
Lucia's, yeah.
But sit outside because inside's a bit cramped.
Next question. How do you feel about your dad working away a lot all of the time? As you have said, he visits lots of different countries for work. And would you want to do the same thing when you're older? And do you miss him?
So lots of questions in one there.
Yeah.
I've only ever known him working away. Like, especially I think when I was younger, he used to be away more, I would say. Maybe not more than now, because you go away a lot again now. But like, when I was like born to like about 8, used to be away all the time. And then when I was like 8 to like maybe like 14 or 15, you weren't away as much.
Yeah.
And then now you've got a new job. You're in America all the time.
Or anywhere. I don't know, yeah, I'm the same. I think I'm kind of used to it, and I'm kind of used to you being used to it.
It's nothing new.
I think I've got the best job in the world, to be honest, though, because it really is I don't have to go to a desk every day, 5 days a week. That would really, really stress me out now, I think. I'd have to leave, because I like to see different places. And like tomorrow, I'm going to Reading. Shout out for everybody watching in Reading. And it's not the most exciting place in the world. Sorry about everybody.
Digging a hole, digging a hole.
Shall I stop?
Digging a hole.
It could be Reading, it could be Corby, which I'm going to next week.
Name all the places you're going this week.
This week's Reading, Corby, and Manchester, and that actually answers one of the other questions. When are you next going to Manchester? If that question was to me, that's Thursday.
I think it will be to me.
I know, but
I don't have any plans actually to come back anytime soon. I think I was there for the majority of like the last 2 weeks at the airport, but I haven't been into Manchester for a while.
If you could change Molly's name to anything, what would it be? Molly was always the name that she was going to be before she was born, I think.
No,
up
it
to a
wasn't.
point. Hang on, before we were having you were going to be Charlotte. That was the idea. Like, if we have a girl, it's always going to be called Charlotte. And then for some reason, Charlotte fell out of favour, and Molly came around, and I'm not even sure where that name came from. But then I've since found out that there was Mollys in my family previously, in previous generations, so that's quite nice that I could reuse the name.
I think I prefer the name Charlotte over Molly, but if I was Charlotte, I would be Lottie. I wouldn't be Charlotte.
Yeah, Lottie. One thing that we have in common with each other. I know the answer to this one. I'll let you try and answer it first.
Bikes.
No, we don't have bikes in common. Wow, what's bikes?
I was going to say, like, we like travelling.
Yeah, true. That's a good answer. I was going to say something completely different, and it's not something I do anymore, but it did come out the other night when we were watching those home videos.
Making videos, yeah.
Making and editing videos.
Yeah, we've both always been, like, technology people.
I hope that you got a little bit of that inspiration to do what you do now from my early efforts at home video. Question probably for you, but I'll answer it as well later. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go, basically?
San Francisco.
Oh, okay. I'm going there.
Yeah, brilliant, good for you. You're going there next week.
I'd like to go to Australia, but that's kind of a long distance thing. I'm not even planning that. But I've always said that on my 50th, I'd like to do the west coast of America.
Wow.
And
West
that might
Coast.
bring in San Francisco into the mix anyway.
No,
But
I'm going to San Fran next year.
Vegas, California, so Los Angeles.
Yeah, I would really like to do, I was talking to Mum about this the other day, 10 days on the west coast. I'd go 5 days in LA, 3 days in San Francisco, 2 days at Disney World.
Next question.
Yeah.
Just a very short answer to this one. How do you feel that it's coming home? By the time you watch this, it might have not come home.
Yeah, wait, whatever happens by the time they watch this, the World Cup's over. Currently, England are in the semi-final. We're filming this in advance because I go on holiday next week.
So it's coming home.
But it's coming home.
It's too hard to believe. I mean, I remember the last time England got to a semi-final.
I thought you were going to say, I remember when England won the World Cup.
No, I don't. I'm not that old.
You don't.
I'm not that old. But I remember when they got to a semi-final and the stress around that penalty shootout against Germany. It was West Germany at the time. It was even before they became one country. Get to the final and they lost.
That will happen next time.
That was absolutely gutting, and I'm just stressed about that thought of that happening again this Wednesday.
I feel like every single person in the country is like, yay, it's coming home, but also seriously nervous about Wednesday.
It's only going to happen once in a lifetime, I think, and this is it, people. What do you think about having fan accounts? What do we think about having fan accounts?
The girl who's asked this, Lauren, Molly X-Liv, is like the biggest fan account. I don't have many, but like I know all of the ones that I have, like I recognise all of their names. And one second, why is the other side of the road a dual carriageway?
Because you can overtake coming up the hill, but you can't overtake going down the hill.
Yeah, I think it's really odd. I think it's one thing when you're like, oh my god, like thank you for liking my picture or whatever, and then the next thing is you're like crying when my dad likes your pictures, and I think that is the funniest part.
I do think that's a bit weird for me as just a normal guy that's not famous or anything like that.
I'm not famous. I'm definitely not one of those YouTubers that attracts like a swarm.
I know.
Stop naming names.
Okay, nobody. Next question then. We'll wait until you've done the roundabout, shall we?
We're now in Market Wheaton. Shout out to all you Market Wheaton.
Hello, Market Wheaton, Sancton, Newbold. I bet there's nobody from those. I bet there's nobody from those.
Yeah, there is.
Villages.
I know quite a lot of people from Newbold because I did my Duke of Edinburgh before.
How does your dad feel about you travelling a lot? Does he worry about you? And how did you first convince him to let you go away on your own?
Okay, well the first time I properly went away on my own, actually no, the first couple of times I went to London by myself, my dad was always there because it was really convenient that at the time when I first got invited to a lot of YouTube events, my dad was at a job based like on the Strand in London. That eased me in to go into London on my own and like learning the underground and stuff. But the first time I went abroad by myself was when I went to Paris with all of the YouTubey people. And I remember when I asked if I could go, obviously my parents had never met any of those people before. I hadn't met some of them, and I was like, oh, I'm going to Paris with all these people, is that okay? And I remember you were the one that was like, yeah, I think you should do that.
I could see from the sort of trips that you'd done to London because of all these events that you were quite capable of doing it. And you know, as a parent, and everybody will go through this that becomes parents, you have to let go at some point. As long as you brought you up correctly and understand what's safe and what's not safe, you have at some point. It's like when you're learning to ride a bike, at some point you've got to let go and let them go off, and you know they'll crash and fall off and scuff their knee, and probably had a few. Not crash literally your car or anything.
Well, no, I mean metaphorically. When I'm abroad, I haven't. Nothing has happened yet.
Things go wrong. I mean, you always have train issues, don't you? Let's face it. Can't deny that. And you know, if a train gets cancelled, then it's like, well, what do I do now? At least I think you'd know how to get around that now.
I think I've done it in quite a good way as well. Because like when I went to Paris alone, I was alone, but there were adults there. Like parents came with us. And then the next trip I went to on my own abroad was New York, which was quite a step up. Like that is like obviously across the Atlantic, and there weren't any adults, but I think the difference there was I'd been before. So it was only really Madrid last week was the first place I'd gone to without an adult that I'd never been to before.
Who is Molly most like, me or Mum? I think Molly's got traits of both of us in different ways.
I'm unique and individual. And
some people say we look alike. I don't see it.
The comments will be filled with, you look so much like your dad.
Oh no, or or vice versa, or the opposite. You look so much like your mum, can't believe it.
Yeah.
See you looking more like me, to be fair.
What confuses me more is when I have Harry in a video and people go, you look so much like Harry, and I don't see any
Which is quite worrying. Weird question. Would you ever do a video where you go undercover as a fan account? I don't quite understand that.
Well, you couldn't do it, that's a question for me. That's great if you're a YouTuber with like thousands and thousands of subscribers, like hundreds of thousands. I know all of my fan accounts, there's like 20 max, and I know all of them, most of you by name, so it would just be really obvious, like, because if another person just crept into the mix, you would know, and you'd be like, is this Molly?
What's your favourite restaurant in London?
Whoa.
And would you do a meet and greet in London other than somewhere in the city?
Probably not, because I feel like London is so spread out that it would be difficult to gather a crowd, because I don't know where you would be based. Favourite place to eat? Where's yours?
Mine's probably STK, which is on the Strand, which is at the bottom of the ME Hotel, opposite the Waldorf.
Not to be specific or anything.
Steak restaurant, but if you don't like steak, then don't go there, because that's pretty much all they do.
I have my classic favourite restaurants, which are like Ask and stuff. I like going to the Breakfast Club, which is only in London and Brighton. I'm going to say the Breakfast Club, even though you have to queue for forever to get in there. What is the speed limit on? Whoops.
I'm just trying to see if there's any other questions. I think
we're done. Do you want to make a question up before we go? Is there anything you want to ask?
I think this is probably more to the fan accounts, really, and I'm just wondering, how long have you been fan accounts? You can't answer this question, I know, but why Molly? It still amazes me, and I'm not
rude. Yeah. Why would you like my daughter?
There's so much content on YouTube. Literally, you could decide to become a fan of anybody.
Well, no, to be honest, I think most people are fans of other people. Like, I am a very teeny speck on the YouTube.
I know, but to some people,
slowing down.
It still just baffles me and amazes me.
It's definitely not something that I thought would happen when I started doing YouTube, but then it's also something I've got quite used to, but I can see why people wouldn't be used to it. Yeah. Like, my friends all find it quite, not weird, but just funny.
And I use confident vlogging in front of your friends now, or is there still situations where you're not going to be, like, you don't like vlogging in front of Tom's family, do you?
No.
Tom's kind of used to it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because you wouldn't want to impose, like, no.
Yeah,
you know.
I just feel like unless you really, like, know what it is and you watch it, it's very, like, foreign, and I think it's still not a socially acceptable thing to just whip a camera out and be like, so guys, I'm just eating my lunch. I think my friends from YouTube, obviously, they're the people I'm the most comfortable around.
Do you ever feel still slightly self-conscious doing it anywhere? I mean, you vlog a lot on your own, don't you? I mean, I'd feel less conscious in London doing it.
Yeah, no, not if I'm in London. If I'm in town, I don't like doing it at all, because town is filled with everybody from school. Guys, we're going to wrap this up now, just because I feel like we've been talking forever and driving around forever, and now we're sort of getting stuck in traffic. Yeah, I'm so hot. So, if you've enjoyed this drive with me, a little bit of a blast from the past, give it a thumbs up, and yeah, subscribe down below, all of that stuff. I will be back soon with some holiday content. I've taken this week off just because I'm away with Tom and his whole family in Lanzarote, so I didn't really want to just like impose and have a camera out all the time, and I also just kind of wanted to just enjoy it and not have to edit every single night, because that does get really tiring. So I hope that's okay with you. I hope you've enjoyed this video as a substitute. Give it a thumbs up, follow my dad on Instagram. That's why you wanted to be in this video.
Not at all. Carl_Thompson_X.
Plug it. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all either on Saturday or Sunday this week, so subscribe so you know when it goes up.